Good morning, true crime friends. I'm here with my true crime dog. This is Holly. She's very cute and very barky usually when I'm doing these videos. I'm holding her in the hopes that she won't lose her ever-loving mind and start barking like a maniac so I can get through this video. Okay. Oh, you want to get down? Okay, she wants to get down. When last we spoke, Lori Vallow's sister, Summer, had taken the stand. Girls, stop. Lori Vallow's sister had taken the stand. And so I was like, okay, so her very sweet sister Summer gets on the stand, basically curses her out in the nicest possible way. Basically, she's screaming and crying like, how could you do this? What are you thinking? What is happening? And Lori is like, you don't understand. You don't know what I've been through. Me, my, whatever. This is the interesting thing. Now, I had just heard the Summer tape without hearing like what happened before it or what happened after it in court. So what happened before it is the prosecution was like, hi, welcome to court. What's your name? Now we're going to play this tape. So I get the feeling they just wanted to get the tape in, but to do that, they had to have her on the stand. And so that's what they did. Turns out both sides had planned to call Summer. So when Lori's attorney got up, he could ask her all kinds of questions like it was direct testimony. And then the prosecution could get up and do rebuttal. Honestly, aside from the tape, nobody asked anything new, but this is what I found out in outside information. Okay, Lori has been married 5 times, right? We knew that. She's never invited her family to any of her weddings. How is that even possible? And some of these weddings were long. Like the first one was like some dude straight out of high school. She was married to him for 2 seconds. The second dude, Joe Ryan, was the the second dude was somebody else. And they were married for longer than the first, but not that long. The third husband was Joe Ryan. That's the kid's father, I think, child. Who can keep track? She's been married so many times. But how do you have 5 weddings, 5 marriages, and you didn't invite your family to any of them? So it's not that surprising that she did not invite her family to her wedding with Mr. Potato Head when they got married in Hawaii. Okay, so she's odd. She has some weird behavior. I get the feeling it's a whole weird family. But fine, do you. Just don't go around killing people. And so Lori's attorney got up and he was like, I'm sorry that you had to re-listen to that very painful phone call where you were screaming and crying. And Summer was like, yeah, thanks, dude. And then he asked some basic questions like, did Lori ever tell you about zombies and her other lives and whatever? And then they just went ahead and let that go. It was kind of like a nothing day as it relates to Summer's testimony. The interesting thing was there was all these experts or whatever getting up there talking about the phones. Now listen, all this phone testimony is painful to go through. It's information that we need. It's things that we currently know, but it's like if you've watched an episode of 2020, you've seen all this cell phone data. Here's the thing though, Alex was all over the place. Like Alex had his grubby little fingerprints all up in this, but Alex had a traumatic brain injury when he was a teenager, and it seems that his mental capacity never got past the age of 16. And so he was basically a useful idiot, like with all due respect to idiots, because I think most idiots don't go around killing people. Idiots do things like cut you off in traffic or, don't give you the best cut of meat at the butcher shop. That's not the same as murder. And then they had all this testimony about the condition of the bodies when they were found, blah, blah, blah. And Lori apparently just like looked down and looked away and didn't face it. Girl, I wouldn't want to face it either. You have done some terrible, terrible crimes. I get the feeling she's not going to be that popular in prison because let's face it, we know she's going to prison. It's not like, maybe she will or maybe she won't. To this day, I do not understand why we're having this trial. And just to be clear, at any minute, she could say to her lawyer, you know what? I'm so sorry to have wasted your time. I really, really am. If you would just let me go on and go to prison, I can maybe take a plea deal that would have me getting out sometime soon. Now, to be clear, we don't want her out. We don't need her out in the streets with the rest of us. Oh, no, 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 thank you. No, thank you. But I would like this to be over and for her to just go to prison. I want to hear what Alex has to say for himself. Not Alex. Goodness, my brain is scrambled today. I'm confusing everybody's name. Who was the husband? The potato. Chad. I would like to hear what Chad has to say for himself. Is he just going to take a deal? Because it is very, very clear that Lori is going to be convicted. Like, we just going through the motions, waiting for her to be convicted. So why doesn't she just say, this was lovely. I had such a nice time. If you would just show me to my prison cell, then you could all get back to your regular lives, and then we could stop hearing about these horrible details. But in her tapes, you hear her very calm and soothing, and she's like, all of this is terrible. Can you think of what this is doing to me? Lori, what we're not going to do is feel sorry for you, because you, my dear, are garbage. And I say that in the nicest possible way. I say it in the way that I would say it to any other horrific mass murderer. Because at this point, really, Lori, that's what you are. You're kind of bad at life. You were bad at marriage. You were bad at parenting. Seems like you were okay at parenting until you weren't. You were not good with mental illness. Like, with all due respect to those with mental illnesses that don't include murder, like, she's bad on every front. What do you think the other girls in the prison are going to do? Because you know good and well the other ladies down at the prison who, no matter what kind of crimes they committed, if they have children, they're looking at her like this be. And I would be willing to suspect that most of them are away from their children and they wish they could be close to their children, but not Miss Lori. I also heard that when her other son, the one that she let live, Colby, when he took the stand, she mouthed the words, my baby. No, Lori. You don't get to kill half your kids, more than half your kids, and then be like, oh, my baby. Ooh, there's one I could have got. Wonder how much I could have got for him. No, Lori. No. And Summer apparently is the only witness that she's looked in the eye and sort of like been really present for the testimony. Did she think Summer was going to be on her side? No, ma'am. Why don't she just take an Alford plea? You know what an Alford plea is? An Alford plea is when you go, I'm not saying I did it, but I'm saying you have enough evidence to convince me. So I'm just going to see myself out off to prison. Something tells me, though, that Idaho, the land of you have to go to court even if we have to bind and gag you, and the land of there is no insanity defense, we going to convict you on Monday and shoot you on Tuesday. I get the feeling they not big on Alford pleas down there in Idaho. So this trial keeps going on. For what reason, I do not know. But here's the thing. There is new information in the Alex Murdaugh case. Who knew that Alex, all this time after he's been convicted and sentenced to life in prison, is still making news? So now I got to get on over to my Alex Murdaugh feed and make a new video about his trifling behind. All right, so I'm going to go on over and talk a little bit about Alex. It's not that much to say. He's still trifling, still a murderer. I'm still here. So are you, and I'm glad you are. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.